These men are students of Trinbagonian history and upholders of our culture. They are rebellious, intelligent, and masterful at their craft. They may not be on your favorite radio station, but if you want to study a text identifiably Trinbagonian, pick up a Canal's song. Where's the poetry in Sedition by Canal? Now I have respect for any piece of art that within 3 minutes it could give you information that you may have spent about 20 minutes, probably an hour for some, just reading, trying to find out where's this. Sedition, this song, is based on the Sedition Act, which is still a law in Trinidad and Tobago. Sedition is the act of inciting rebellion against the state, and the Sedition Act obviously prohibits that. In the video's description, there is a quote from Sunity, senator, historian, and in my estimation, a national icon, where she says, "More likely to resonate well beyond this case, however, is the application of the 124-year-old Sedition Act in contemporary Trinidad and Tobago, which, judging from the cases brought this century, has been so unconvincing that it is beginning to look like a law in search of a crime." Sunity boy lyrics. So let's break down what Sunity just said. Essentially, she's saying that the Sedition Act, like they're only pulling out that when they're really stretching to persecute someone for something. So when she says this case, she's most likely speaking about the case of a video blogger, Christmas Liss or Christmas, whatever he's called himself, who, as we know, was accused of sedition. Canal is reminded how this law was always used against creatives. Now, according to their video description, the song was influenced by a Calypsonian called King Radio, and he had a song titled "Warning to the Rich and Poor." So earlier, just by the video description alone, we learn about sedition, we learn about King Radio, we learn about Sunity Mirage, and then we press play and we get a nice song. So I real segue in here because Canal is real senior. So let me segue to say that the carnival space, in the carnival space, there must be adequate room for education and expansion of critical thinking. And whether cultural practitioners like it or not, they have a responsibility to educate the masses. That was the role of the original griots, where Calypso and all of these oral traditions come from. Canal is a vital part of that aspect of carnival. And yes, people, let's enjoy the party, but let we become a little bit more certain about ourselves or something about our history by the end of the season. What do you say to that? Anyway, back into the text. Of course, there's allusion or intertextuality as referenced by the whole King Radio thing, King Radio's 1930s Calypso, which may have spurred the chorus. The chorus that refers to licensed mouth is a metaphor grounded in ideas of colonial governance and subservient enforcement. The metaphor reveals to us that this sedition law was to keep the masses in check so that they could not even song like they wanted liberation. Hush your mouth. The first stanza describes sedition as wicked, funny, and vexatious. That word funny is probably a pun, as it most likely refers to funny as strange and funny as in humorous. It is strange because it came from alien colonial rulers, and then it's humorous because it's almost ironic to try to silence an orator. Come on. In the second stanza, Manwarren, one of the members of Canal, documents how Calypsonians circumnavigated these laws through wit and psychology. This alone, Manwarren, they're teaching us now, revealing the power of writing, where through craftiness, orators may have still been able to disguise apprehension towards leadership. So you come out and you smart mouth the thing now. And while telling us about it, Canal is actually doing it. So that stanza there is theory and practice in one, and it continues into the third stanza where a kind of rebellion actually takes place. Stanton Kewley, another one of the singers who always resonate with me because of his rawness, he started listing a series of ills against the wishes of Manwarren and Roger, the next singer. Of course in some sort of playful banter. But what that playful banter demonstrated was the same thing Manwarren was talking about in the second stanza, using wit and psychology to bring controversial points across. So the banter itself is a kind of witty thing taking place there.
Roger Roberts
eventually joins in listing the pitfalls of the or an administration, and Kewley boldly states that some leaders donkey in the thing. That reminds me that when we say someone JA in the thing, you real Jackson in the thing. That is a metaphor comparing that person to a donkey. The alliterative line mismatch ministers JA their post, that referring to ministers unfit for particular duties. So that is a nice metaphor inside of there. It have more. Top cup only selling prayers. Next metaphor, selling a prayer is a term that usually refers to like sowing false hope. So the behavior of the top cup, that is the tenor, and sowing false hope is the vehicle, selling prayers, that is the parts of the metaphor. That is the metaphor built. So there's another nice metaphor and extension when they say corrupted overlords holding the reins. The overlords, of course, leaders, and the reins is the metaphor that refers to leadership or the direction the country must go. And if corrupted overlords holding it, just in that one line there, you get the idea of the potential fate of that country. The electoral system is also metaphorized as a game, in this case musical chairs, which levels both government and opposition as playing the same game. A lot of political commentary in this piece. So we see in there that verse is packed with metaphors, and it shows us clearly the craftiness of hidden speech. The last line is absolute irony at its best. Now here the thing about irony and its whole family devices of oxymoron, paradox, sometimes hyperbole. All of these devices point to truth. As ridiculous or contradictory as they might sound, they still point to truth. So when Stanton say the murder rate high and we ain't riot yet, and immediately Manwarren and Robinson come and say, hey, we can't say that, we can't say that. It's a kind of cynicism and irony, of course, because he already said it. And this creates a kind of humor that peels off the seriousness of the moment. But Stanton's claim, his truthful claim of the fact that citizens are muzzled and ain't riot yet, that's still lingering there amidst all the humor and the banter. Canal certainly created a piece worthy of the classroom. We could sit down with this one for a while. I give it 8.9 out of 10 on the poetry scale. There's the poetry in Sedition by Canal. Listen, all references we use and the lyrics to anything we use are right in the description below this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you appreciated the content, and if there's some text that you want us to analyze, just drop it in the comments below. We'll get to it and find out where's the poetry.